Alright, I just finished with the dentist getting a crown. Today is the temporary crown, so my mouth is numb, so if I'm talking funny, that's why. Kind of a funny story. My first name and middle name is the same as the dentist's first name and last name, and so sometimes people confuse us since, you know, Waco's still kind of a small town. It's certainly getting bigger. I feel like I'm drooling. But what I wanted to talk about today was the Chevy Avalanche. It's probably the least popular vehicle on my channel, but I wanted to talk about why I got one and why I like having it and why I really probably will never get rid of it. So when the Avalanche came out, 2002 year model, then they changed it in 03 and went with the darker plastic side cladding, and that's the first one I got was in 03, and it was a dark charcoal Z71, but it had a cloth interior. But other than that, I think it had pretty much everything you could have on it. And the reason I went for an Avalanche over just a regular truck was, at the time, I had 3 big dogs, and we would take them, you know, out to the river and things like that. And what I liked about the Avalanche was you could open up the mid gate, put up the doggy divider between the front seat and the rear seat. So they basically had the entire truck bed plus the rear seat to move around in if they needed to. But they were in the enclosure and air conditioning, so they were comfortable. The dogs couldn't fall out of the truck bed because it has those tonneau covers, or whatever you call them, on the back that are secure and yet easy to remove if you needed to, compared to like my mother-in-law's truck just has a solid cover on the back of the pickup truck. And just basically driving her truck from time to time and driving the Avalanche, both of them have the short bed, but with the Avalanche having the mid gate, it turns into a full 8-foot bed. So you can load 4-foot by 8-foot boards in the back of the Avalanche with no problem. With her truck, to do that, they have to be sticking out one way or another. And then, like with the tonneau covers, I can remove them so I can have, you know, as much height as I need. So if I want to put, you know, a refrigerator or something back there, I can. With hers, having that solid cover, it lifts to about that much of an angle, but that's it. So you can't put, you know, a tall anything in the back of hers. And then with it being a regular pickup bed, I couldn't even get 6-foot boards in it, even at an angle. Whereas, like I said, with the Avalanche, I'm pretty sure I've put 10-foot boards into it with the tailgate closed. Now, granted, they were coming up to the front seat, but still, they were totally enclosed. But like I said, the main reason I got it was for the dogs, being air conditioned and secure and safe. Having that rubber mat in the back gave them something to put their paws on and not slide around so much. So after a year of having the 03, I had to make a decision about buying another one or not. It had nothing to do with the 03. The 03 was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. Still under warranty, everything else. But for tax reasons, I needed to buy another one. So I went ahead and got the 04, which I still have. So I had that since it was new, October 2003, and I don't remember the exact mileage that it has, but it's somewhere around 60 to 65, I think. So obviously I haven't put a lot of miles on it, and it's been 18 years of ownership now. But even when it was my only vehicle and it was my daily driver, I was putting about 7,000 miles a year on it. And I had covered parking at work, and it was garaged at home. So it was really babied as far as all the plastic on it was not exposed to the sunlight and everything, which I think is why it's in such good shape now. Anyway, I know a lot of people didn't like the Avalanche for whatever reason. Just it didn't resonate with folks. They liked the Silverado or whatever if they were into Chevy trucks. I got a lot of crap from family members driving the Avalanche up to, you know, the river and stuff, and they're like, oh, what's this? You know, I mean, it's a heavy duty truck. It's basically a Silverado or a Suburban with just a different setup, you know, having the midgate and everything, but the guts of it, the engine, suspension, frame, all that stuff is heavy duty, you know, Silverado, Suburban. So I don't know why it gets so much flack. As far as the looks, you know, take it or leave it. Me personally, I like the with body cladding. I also like the you know, the last body style they did where they didn't have the cladding. I think both are good looking vehicles. So I was kind of sad when they stopped making them. I think it was 2013 was the last year model of them, if my memory's working. I think they're going to end up being somewhat collectible like the Crown Vics kind of have become. How the Crown Vic had so many made that parts are easy to find. I think with the Avalanche, sure there's some of the custom parts that are Avalanche specific that are maybe harder to find, but you know, being that it has the same engine as the trucks and SUVs, they're plentiful for engines, transmissions, all those sorts of things. We can argue all day long about whether the Ford 4.6 is more reliable than the Chevy 5.3, but whatever you say, both of them are highly reliable engines. You see tons of them with high mileage on them still going, just like the Panther cars are. Like I said, to me, the Avalanche is kind of the best of all the worlds. You've got a full-size pickup when you need it, you've got more of an SUV when you want it, and you've got a short bed pickup when you need it. And it's all in one vehicle, and everything. There's, you know, storage places for all the parts. If you take anything off, if you take the rear window out, if you take the tonneau covers off and stuff, that everything fits together nicely. So they designed it well. Anyway, let me know what you think. You love or you hate the Avalanche.